In our other Chaco Canyon videos, we talked about the Chaco culture and history. We took you to many of the great houses and showed you the amazing structures that were built over 1,000 years ago in this arid and remote section of New Mexico. In this episode of our Chaco Canyon series, we are going to take you to the great house of Chetro Ketl. While on the trail to Chetro Ketl, we are going to look at some amazing petroglyphs. Then we will venture out on a trail to a mystery cemetery we found while exploring Pueblo Bonito. After all that, we will explore some other great structures and not to be missed sights in Chaco Canyon. Make sure you check out all our videos on Chaco Canyon to get the full picture of how amazing this hidden city really is. When we explored the great house of Pueblo Bonito, we came across a trail to a cemetery, something we did not expect. So let's go explore who and why this cemetery exists in this sacred valley. So there's Pueblo Bonito, and here's the graveyard right here. And then these are some other ruins. I haven't come up to the sign, but I'm pretty sure that these are Pueblo de Arroyo. And you can see, yeah, that's exactly what they are. So you can see how close they are to the other two. And then there's another one up on the hill over there. So they're all, many of them are of earshot of each other. So I'm walking up to the cemetery. Mr. Martini's staying back with the car. This is one thing I was not expecting, was to find a cemetery here. So I'm curious to come up here. So there's actually several people buried up here. There's some unidentified Navajo and the trading post guy. Walls to, I wonder what this wall is, if this is part of the Chaco Canyon culture or not, and something was walking through here. Richard Wetherall, his wife, and others are buried here. Wetherall is a very controversial figure. He spent most of his life exploring the region, excavating sites and selling artifacts. In 1896, he came to Chaco Canyon with the American Museum of Natural History and started excavating the great house Pueblo Bonito, which sits right next to where this cemetery lies today. His unorthodox excavating practices led to the creation of our nation's first law protecting antiquities. He turned to ranching and operating a trading post at Pueblo Bonito. Eventually, he was murdered on June 22, 1910. Chris Chilling Begay killed him after a heated dispute. Personally, I find it deliberate. He was murdered on the 1910 summer solstice, a day the Chacoan people were obsessed with. Others in the cemetery are his wife, Marietta, Grace Ethesy, C.A. and Ramona Griffin, and several local native people that are unidentified, amongst others. The Griffins bought the trading post in 1921. C.A. Griffin was buried here in 1969. In 1923, Griffin was appointed the first part-time custodian of the park. Ramona Griffin was the last to be buried here in 1981. She wrote a book about her experiences living in the valley. The trading post has since been demolished, and all that is left is shards of glass around the land where it once stood. Our next stop is the amazing and unique petroglyphs along the wall between the great houses of Pueblo Bonito and Chetro Ketl. So I should have bought the petroglyph book because we're up. These are man-made, I can tell. There's nothing in geology that's going to make markings like that. So, see all the lines right there? And who knows what the hole was all about. So, but yeah, this is
might be a cavern dug out
also too right there. Right there, that's a man-made line, and then it's got the horizontal lines going that way. It's almost like they were marking fives, you know, stick, 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 cross through, stick, 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 cross through.
This was the market.
Interesting. So you see all the markings? You can see how it goes into the rock. It's been just rubbed down, rubbed down. They're all up in here too. See them right in there. Snakes and probably maybe centipedes. Huh. Oh wow. You can really, that thing's about ready to go. Still making our way over to the other ruins on the petroglyph trail, but we keep stopping because we keep seeing petroglyphs.
There's a lot of scrapes on that wall. Can you make that in figures?
Well,
Marker here for something.
not seeing, I mean, to me that looks geological.
There's a scrape there.
Oh yeah, so those aren't.
You see
Those
how
are the
smooth
scrapes.
that is?
Yeah, those are all smooth.
I think that they're sharpening something on the canyon wall.
Yeah.
Spears or arrows.
Definitely sharpening. So there's a hole there.
Probably started in a couple areas and only found that one soft enough to dig through.
And a couple, I mean, there's a hole there. There's holes there, there, and there.
We call those test holes.
Test holes. There's actually holes. I mean, look at, there's actually several along the wall here.
Maybe they dug into it, put beams in it, and built off of it. I don't know. Kind of weird that you got three big ones there.
Well, you know, the thing about this, oh my God, the acoustics in here. Hello, hello.
Echo.
Echo. Oh my God, the acoustics. Do you see this right here? This kind of squarish area, Patrick?
Yeah.
That looks man-made to me. Because if that was geological, where's the rock that fell? There's no rock here. You know, I mean, over here you see all the stuff that's fallen? You see the rock. Here there's no rock. That almost reminds me of like the old missions in California. It's like, reminds me of San Juan Capistrano.
Old and crumbling.
Yeah, it just reminds me a lot of it. take in the spiritual, just the quietness, and all you can hear is the wind.
This is Nigel Knowles here, on location, just outside of the ancient ruins of a great city.
See how close these are now from here. That's Pueblo Bonito. So this trail, you take it out, it's about a 7.5 mile round trip. There's some ruins up on the top of this ridge here that you can hike up to. But right below them, when you look up to the rock face, there's some petroglyphs that have a very fascinating story. This trail will take you to pictographs that are thought to depict a supernova that was first observed on July 4th, 1054 AD. A supernova is an exploding star, and the remnants of this supernova is now known as the famous Crab Nebula. The supernova was visible in broad daylight for 23 days from Earth besides the sun and the moon. It continued to be visible for 653 days at night. Observations of this event have been found in both Chinese and Japanese records, and only 2 brief reports are known from medieval Europe. Calculations of the moon's orbit back to July 5th, 1054, have shown that the moon was in a crescent phase, as it is in the pictograph. In addition, at dawn on July 5th, 1054, the moon was very close to the supernova and was in the same orientation as in the pictograph. The comet-looking pictograph below the supernova is thought to be Halley's Comet, which passed this area in 1066. The second half of the century not only saw these 2 events, but recorded Chinese history says that sunspots were visible to the naked eye, and calculations show that a solar eclipse occurred in the area in 1097. Ironically, this period is when massive building occurred in Chaco Canyon. Everywhere I turn, I keep finding ruins. I mean, they're just all over the place, and I can't get over how much was built here.